What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review, and today I'm very excited checking out Castle Knights from Haba. This is for 2 to 4 players, age is 5 plus. It'll take about, 10 minutes to play, 15 minutes. And in Castle Knights, together we are strong. You and your other teammates are going to be working together to try to build a castle for a king as he returns back from a trip. This is a dexterity game where you are going to try and cooperatively be pulling these strings to pull apart these little bungee cords, pick up pieces, and then put them into the king's tower. What am I talking about? Let's open it up and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Alright, then we're going to take a look at what's going to get inside of Burg Ritter, aka Castle Knights. So first and foremost, we're going to handy dandy rule booklet. It's really long, but that's just because that is a whole boatload of languages. You're only going to need about 3 or 4 pages, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations, examples. Look at that. That's very well done. And this is very well done. It should have you up and running in no time at all. Also, I can teach you how to play right now because it's incredibly simple. So in Castle Knights, what you're going to be doing is you are going to be building various different structures. And you're going to have to build 3 of these structures before the king, the king, arrives from his business trip off doing, kingly things. So you're going to do that by cooperatively stacking up these structures using this thing right here. So this is going to be a little circle that's made out of kind of like bungee cord, so it's like stretchy, and each player is going, if you're playing 4 players, is going to get one of these balls. They're going to be pulling it open so they can pick up these pieces and then put them over here in this cool looking courtyard, which is actually the box insert, which is completely unnecessary, but really awesome. So yeah, it's got 3 levels, the bottom, the middle, the top. Very cool stuff from Haba. Next, you're going to get the sand timer right here, which will obviously tell you if you've run out of time for building the structures. And last but not least, you're going to get these giant, like I have big hands, wooden pieces that you're going to use to create the various different towers. So let's show you exactly how it works, and we'll see if I can accomplish this feat, despite the fact that normally, it's not a solo game, so I'm going to be trying to do it solo. So, first thing you're going to do is you're going to flip over a card, like so, and then you're going to flip over the sand timers. The first thing I need to get is the brown one. So, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just try and do it like this, and this is not going to work. So, you know what? I'm just going to cheat, use my hands, but you get the idea. Normally, you'd be trying to pull on these balls to open the circle, to pick them up, and then put them over here. Since I'm using my hands, this probably should be pretty easy though, so I'll just do that, and then I'll just do that, and then I'll just put this queen right there, and hooray! I completed the first structure, which is great for me. So what we do is we tear this down, but we put this card right here to symbolize that we have successfully built that. So the king is not going to move, but what will happen sometimes is you won't successfully build it. Maybe stuff falls over and you don't actually build it in time. If that's the case, what's going to happen is the king is going to move forward 1 space like so. And if the king ever gets here inside of the courtyard, so he goes bloop, 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 and then here, if he ever gets here, he's angry. He's like, hey, where's all my structures? You haven't built them, and you lose the game. So the next time you do it, you'll have to build a structure here and then a structure here. You're going to be building 3 different structures on 3 different areas, and you have the sand timer, the time to do it. If you're able to successfully do that, then you and everybody else wins the game because it's cooperative, and if not, then you lose the game and you'll probably restart over with the king coming back from his business trip. But that, in a nutshell, is what you're going to do inside of Castle Knights. Alright then, Castle Knights from Haba Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. 2 to 4 players, restricted player count. Now that being said, you can play a round-robin version of the game with more players, which I think is a really fantastic and fun way to play the game, but you can only play 4 people at the board at a time, which is a little bit of a bummer. Another con that I have with this game is there's no real strategy in this game at all. It's just, hey, let's move this block as fast as we can, but still do it carefully. And oh, let it go. Then, oh, we're going to pick up this other one and move it really fast. And then, oh, we're going to move this one really fast. And that's pretty much the entire strategy of the game. Now, that being said, there's angles and how hard you should pull and stuff like that. Cooperative aspects that you'll need to figure out. But for the most part, it's a very light, simple dexterity game. Another con that I have with this game, this one's kind of a big con, at least for me personally, is that I wish they had difficulty modifier cards for adults or for more experienced people playing the game, because for kids, this is really difficult, especially if you're playing with 4 players. They're going to lose more times than they win. At least that was my experience with the kids in my class that were 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. I think there was a couple 6-year-olds as well. But for adults and for teenagers, the game gets a little bit too easy, especially once everyone knows what they're doing and everybody's got the angles down right. So I would have loved to have seen some difficulty modifier cards, maybe even another timer or something like that, that would have made the game more difficult for adults. I think that would have been a fantastic inclusion in the game, and I really think it would give the game more legs and make this game not only a fantastic children and family game, but also a great party game that you could be able to bust out, especially with that round robin system I mentioned a little bit earlier. That being said, it still is a fun party game, especially if people have been drinking and their fine motor skills are slowly devolving, but I really wish that they would come out with some cards for that. They probably never will, because I think this game might be out of print, tier, but if they are listening, that would be a fantastic idea, I think. Just put it as promos. I will totally buy that. Any other cons that I have with the game? No. Moving on to the pros. Castle Knights is fantastic. I love this game. This is one of my new favorite Hobby games. It's up there with Rhino Heroes and Animal Upon Animals and Go Cuckoo and Dragon Tower and all their other out-freaking-standing games, and this one is no different. So first and foremost, components and artwork, yeah, you know, it's going to be fantastic. It's Haba. Look, there's giant wooden pieces that are awesome. You kind of get used to that if you play a lot of Hobby games. So yes, the components are absolutely outstanding on this. But it's the gameplay, really. This is just a fun game. I sat there in class one day and played this for about, I don't want to exaggerate here, but I think about 80 minutes. Just 80 minutes straight, and I was always playing with the kids, because obviously I make sure they take care of my games. And I played with different kids. I probably played with like 15 different kids over the span of 80 minutes, just playing this game nonstop, and it was fun the entire time. Watching the kids play this and playing it yourself is an enjoyable experience. Now, that being said, I liked it best at 4 players. That's one thing I forgot to mention in the cons. At 2 players, it's a little bit easier. At 3 players, it's a little bit easier. At 4 players, it's the most difficult because each player only has 1 string. But continuing on to the pros, I mean, it's pretty simple. It looks great. It feels great. It's fun, it's cooperative, you really do need to work together, which I like an awful lot. I like the round robin system a lot as well. You can do like a round robin where if you successfully complete it, then you get a point, and so you make it so everybody gets to partner up with everybody else at the table. That's a really fun way to play this game, and the kids enjoy watching other people play that. That's one thing I really liked about this game. It has great table appeal. They didn't need to make the box look like a little courtyard in a castle, but they did because they're Haba games, and they're the best at what they do, making kids games. And this is no exception. Castle Knights from Haba Games. Go check this one out. If you're looking for a great family game, if you're looking for a great kids game, or if you're looking for a potential party game, Castle Knights from Haba, one I can highly recommend. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know. If you were a knight, what would your knight name be? I'd be Forest of the Fort, because I'm from Fort Wayne. I think that sounds pretty cool. Or Forest on Forest, because I live on Forest Avenue. So Forest of Forest. Yeah, I like that. Maybe Forest of Forest in the Forest. You know, I would probably just play off of my name in some sort of way. But what would your knight name be? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.